First, I want to apologize in advance if I get teary or stutter. I've been thinking about this speech for 4 years, so I just want to start by saying good morning. Good morning to the faculty, friends, and families here today who have come to celebrate our long-anticipated graduation. Today, after 4 years of hard work, I have been granted the privilege to speak on behalf of some of the most intelligent, unique, and creative individuals in this city. As we commemorate our graduation, we reflect on 4 years of happiness, adversity, and growth. When we leave today, we'll have begun our leap into adulthood and all the responsibilities that come with it. As we grow into adults and prepare to take on this crazy world and all its challenges, it can be easy to forget just how much MPA has done for us. So let me briefly tell you all a story. A story about a group of individuals who managed to find their path despite all the odds. A story about how our class, the class of 22, has become who we are today. 6 years ago, you would find me anxiously seething under my desk at the prospect of transferring to MPA. I remember fear clouding my vision as I desperately tried to hide from the reality of change. How could I do it? The school my brother graduated from, where all the students wore posh uniforms and had ambitions to change the world, how could I possibly fit in, let alone compete? It was scary, but it was a fear that would immediately be reconciled. Although I went in terrified, all it took was one person to make me realize that the MPA community was a very welcoming place. On the very first day at MPA, the first person I met, the person who made me realize I was probably taking things a little too gravely, obviously it was DJ King. The same person you'd be lucky to not find arguing with me over whatever our dumb debate of the day was, of course, the first person I met at MPA. Now, in the general, loving DJ manner, and he will pretend this didn't happen, but it did. He laughed in my face because of how awkwardly I said hello. Now, this was important, because although he was laughing in my face and I realized I probably needed to work on my socializing skills and get a haircut, he treated me like a friend. He treated me like it was a reunion. So, I realized there was a place for me at this school, because honesty was not hard to come by. I made a friend the moment I walked in these doors. You can't say that about many other places. And I'm sure each of us has had a DJ story here at MPA. A classmate who opened us up to the fact that MPA is a community. If not for the bonds we've made at MPA, the class that stands before you today would not be the same. You see, the class of 22, as you see today, is very, very different from the one that came in 2018. I remember when we walked in as freshmen, there was a cold distance between each of us. In my advisory alone, Celia, the student council president, was no sharp leader. Elijah was not the mind-bogglingly hard-working individual we know him as today. He sleeps at like 3 a.m. every night and still manages to get all his homework done. I don't know how he does it. And Brooklyn was not yet the incredibly kind speaker we all relate to. So perhaps we were lucky then to have received the support of some of the kindest teachers in the world. Even beyond what they taught us directly in class, the faculty at MPA could not have done more to support us over the past 4 years. In fact, I doubt any of us would be who we are today if not for our teachers. For me, Dr. Kickmall, although I came into your advisory pessimistic and frankly annoying, you made me realize there's something special about everyone and the power of kindness. Ms. Fahey, although you may not realize it, you serve as a symbol for diligence and strength I, and every student who's ever had you, tries to carry daily. And Ms. Cannon, who painstakingly read all 8 drafts of my Common App essay, who's probably getting a little annoyed at these run-on sentences. You taught me what it meant to express myself as an individual. I could keep going for paragraphs about how the faculty at MPA has served as beacons for us. People who have always had our backs. I kid you not, I sometimes struggle to differentiate between some of the teachers and students here at MPA. I challenge you to close your eyes and talk to Miss Panic and Elijah on the same day. They are the exact same people. So, even if I have had my fair share of arguments with the faculty here at MPA, sorry, it is no understatement to say that they were the exact type of people we needed when we walked in. People who would toil away at our nonsense to guide us to a better future. So, back to the once wayward class of 22. Slowly, we began to grow closer, forming bonds and breaking away the natural distance between us. I witnessed firsthand Angel growing from sleeping through legitimately every single class to having a legitimate path and dreams. I saw Jada and Ignatius become perhaps the two most outwardly confident people I have ever met. It is impossible not to smile when you are around them. And I saw DJ become the sharp-witted genius we know him as today. Let me tell you, when we were in 7th grade, he would get yelled at by Mr. Malcolm every single day without fail. I don't know what he did. So, day in and day out, no matter what nonsense we went through, there was always going to be somebody who would try their hardest to get a laugh out of you. Somebody who was looking out for you. And that's what made us who we were. Each other. I still struggle to come to terms with the fact that I won't get to hug my best friends every day. Nor will I have the same reliable faces to look to on my hardest mornings. But it's okay. Because we all know that through thick and thin, we got each other's backs. Even if the days of screaming at each other during lunch are over, the memories we've made together and the people we have made each other become will last forever. I wish I could put better into words how proud I am of us. Because we are the class that could. We are the class that defines resilience, confidence, and independence. When MPA was tattered after COVID, we stepped up and took clubs over. We fought to better this home we reside in. Same kid that once barely had the drive to do his geometry homework found the drive to raise money for refugees in Ukraine despite being sick. The same students who only joined student council to skip class ended up being the ones who would lead to rebuild the school. So give yourself a pat on the back, because we did it. We all could have given up and isolated ourselves from the school until we got our little diploma and left, but we didn't. We stood up for each other, and we fought for this institution we call home. So, at the end of this day, when we walk away from Jones Bowl, it could be the last day we share together as our full class. Although we share no blood, no two backstories alike, and no dream the same, each of us shares a home. We all know the nerve-wracking excitement of Project Week, the grind to get open periods, and the opportunity to spend every single day with people who care about us. Rather than standing among classmates or friends, we stand among family. We get in debates, we bicker, and sometimes, just sometimes, we see eye to eye. But I wouldn't change a single thing about us. I doubt any of us would, because we are the class that didn't give up. And when we walk away today, as adults, the memories and impact of our family, the class of 22, will live with us forever. Something I should have said a lot more in the past 4 years. I really love you guys. Thank you.